Agusta Westland deal has created a massive furor in India. Allegations and counter-allegations. Charge and counter-charge.
Agusta exclusive. Diaries reveal Euro 16 million bribe to political family of UPA.
Angry exchanges between the Congress and ruling BJP members in Parliament and outside. An unprecedented arrest leading to an explosive claim
of a group of companies who are now
pointing fingers at the former PMO. But amidst all the noise, exactly what is the scam all about? The scam that is known as the Agusta Westland helicopter deal. (1999-2000). The Kargil war exposed vulnerabilities of the Russian Mi-8 helicopters used for VVIP duty, and the Indian Air Force decided to acquire a new fleet of VVIP choppers. The IAF wrote to the Defense Ministry and proposed to the PMO that a suitable and modern replacement for the Russian helicopters be explored on priority. Only one company, Eurocopter, was eligible for having a chopper that could fly at an altitude of 6,000 meters that was specified by the Indian Air Force. 2003. To avoid a single vendor situation, the then National Security Advisor Brajesh Mishra recommended a few changes in the requirements. 2006. The Ministry of Defense issued a fresh request for proposal with the 2003 specifications to 6 vendors. 3 companies, including Agusta Westland, responded. Also, the UPA government, which was in power at that time, increased the number of choppers from 8 to 12. 2010. Agusta Westland signed a 3,546 crore rupee contract to supply 12 AW101 helicopters to the IAF. 8 of these helicopters were to be used to transport VVIPs such as the President, the Prime Minister, the Vice President and others, while 4 were to be used for other duties. 2012. 3 of the 12 choppers which were to be used to transport VVIPs, such as the President, the Prime Minister and the Vice President, arrived in India. But soon the deal got mired in controversy. Italian authorities arrested Agusta Westland CEO Bruno Spagnolini and parent company Finmeccanica's chairman Giuseppe Orsi over charges that they engaged middlemen to bribe Indian politicians and IF officials to clinch the deal in their favor. The names of alleged middlemen Christian Mikkel and Guido Haschke emerge as the ones who allegedly worked to swing the deal in favor of Agusta. The then UPA government immediately put the deal on hold and ordered a CBI inquiry. Former IAF chief SP Tyagi and his cousins emerged as possible suspects in the bribery scandal. In April 2016, a Milan court held Orsi and Spagnolini guilty of paying bribes to Indian officials, and the court also indicted SP Tyagi and his brothers of being beneficiaries. Around the same time, the intricate web of corruption stitched by middlemen between MOD officials and Finmeccanica were exposed by a series of audio tapes. India Today accessed this phone conversation between 2 middlemen of the Agusta Westland deal, elaborately discussing how they covered their trail of corruption.
What happens if probe begins into our dealings? Oh, don't worry. We have built a complex maze of companies to route bribes to India. You know, even if the probe begins today, no one will ever catch us, you know. And even if investigation reaches them, it would take the agencies 10 years to reach Mauritius. You know that?
Okay. So what happens to the documents shared?
Documents related to our dealings with Agusta Westland have disappeared from Lugano office in Switzerland. They are safe in my mother's house.
Hi, Ashke. I'm afraid the probe is moving very fast.
Oh, don't worry. I've cleaned my computer and made all documents and emails disappear. There are no bank accounts directly connected to us in this country.
How do we proceed now?
Well, the lawyer has told me not to stop going to Agusta Westland. That means just keep going. And just business as usual, as if nothing had happened. Because otherwise, it would look very suspicious. Why have you stopped? And this is also the reason they will continue making all the payments. Business as usual. Nothing happened, nothing happened. Stay perfectly clean.
May 2016. India Today reached ground zero, and for the first time, an Indian crew located the whereabouts of the Agusta scam masterminds and convicts.
This is where Bruno Spagnolini, the second highest ranking officer of the Finmeccanica organization and the Agusta Westland chief executive officer at the time of his arrest and subsequent dismissal from his job, that's where he would live, in that pink house that you can see out there right behind me. Spoke to some residents who then actually told us that Giuseppe Orsi is actually a resident, but he does not like to live like the others do. He has the top house that you see on the brown building, the attic. That's where Giuseppe Orsi stays. He doesn't share the lift with the residents. He doesn't share any of the common facilities. As you can see behind me is the headquarters of the Agusta Westland International Limited. Their training academy is located here. The reason why some things now begin to make sense is because just about 200 or 300 meters from this very site is where the residence of the deposed Finmeccanica head, the deposed Agusta Westland CEO and MD Giuseppe Orsi's residence is also located. Just about 200 meters from there is where the training academy is located.
In May 2016, at a time when the Indian investigation agencies and all of Indian media was on the hunt for the alleged kingpin Christian Michel, India Today tracked him down, and Michel made some explosive revelations.
Being part of Agusta deal, do you think that SP Tyagi and Tyagi brothers might have taken some money and distributed to their masters?
I think, this is only my opinion, I'm not an expert, but I think it will be found that they only received enough money to look like they are part of a bigger picture, which is what Hashki wanted to create to get into the deal and make the money he made. I think they were a cover for a much bigger activity going on elsewhere.
And that elsewhere is where?
Well, that's back into Mauritius. Until we get into Mauritius and Kaitam, we will never know what this
You're
bigger
talking
activity
about
is.
Gautam Khaitan.
Yes.
What do you think his role is in this?
Well, he is clearly the brains, the law. He set up the structures, he opened the bank accounts, he was responsible for moving the money, so he knows. He knows what went on. He must know.
So you think he is the person who can spill the beans?
I think he has a great deal of information. Because in the phone taps that went on between Guido Hashki and Carlo Gerosa, Hashki's partner, they say at all costs we must protect Gautam Khaitan.
So do you think any of the Indian leaders might have been instrumental in cracking this deal?
No, I think the Indian leaders did their job. But to say that a man like Vajpayee or Dr. Mohan Singh or St. Anthony is involved is ridiculous. No one would believe that, who knows of these people, who reads newspapers. It's impossible. They would not do that. So you're looking at a level below that.
Khaitan, a former board member of Aerometrics Limited, accepted taking payments from Guido Hashke and Carlo Gerosa. The CBI claims that he had admitted to taking payments, but has denied allegations that it was part of any kickbacks. 9th of December 2016. The CBI arrested the former Indian Air Force Chief SP Tyagi for allegedly accepting bribe in the Agusta Westland chopper deal. Tyagi was arrested along with his cousin Sanjeev Tyagi and lawyer Gautam Khaitan. The allegation against the former Indian Air Force Chief is that he reduced flying ceiling of the helicopter from 6,000 meters to 4,500 meters, which put Agusta Westland helicopters in the race for the deal, and without which its choppers were not even qualified for submission of bids. Tyagi, however, has put the onus of the scam on former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's office.
Please understand, when this decision was taken, the NSA was chairing it, the director IB was there, the SPG boss was there, the secretary security was there, the defense secretary was there, and the deputy chief of air staff was there. It was a collective decision.
And you became the fall guy in that sense?
I would like to believe yes.
The allegations are a political hot potato for the Congress, which has questioned the timing of Tyagi's arrest.
He has not dragged any PMO. He has said this is a collective decision of the government of India. It is for the prosecuting agency to fix individual responsibility in a criminal case. There is no such thing as vicarious responsibility in a criminal case or collective responsibility. It is his case that the entire government took a decision together. Obviously, the government of the day took a decision. That doesn't mean that everybody in the government is criminally liable.
The decision to lower the height from 6,000 feet to 4,500 feet was taken by the PMO of Mr. Vajpayee. It's there on record. That is the one which was conveyed, and that is the basis on which he was bribed. Now, if an accused says and names anybody which is contrary to record, it means nothing. And if that is the game plan of this government, I feel sorry for them.
And we need to have strong action against corruption, but no action in corruption matters should appear to be selective, arbitrary, motivated, or as part of political vendetta. This government must be careful in this regard because of the timing of this arrest of Air Marshal Tyagi.
Meanwhile, the CBI will also be examining the efforts which were made to slow down investigations into the case.